Hey, what's up, everybody? Tommy Meyer here. Welcome to Tommy Tonight. Now, I want to start off the show with some good news. Chuck Norris was not at the Capitol riots last week. That's right. There was a little bit of speculation going around after this photo surfaced, and I've got to say, that does look a lot like Chuck Norris. But Norris's agent shot down the claims, saying this is not Chuck Norris and is a wannabe lookalike, adding, although Chuck is much more handsome. Okay, first of all, Chuck Norris is not handsome. He's hand-all. And second, just because somebody looks like someone does not make them a wannabe, okay? I'm not a wannabe, that guy from Big Bang Theory. Although he is pretty rich, so I wouldn't mind being him. And I was actually a stand-in for him once, which I guess kind of literally... Never mind. All right, Chuck Norris was not at the riot, which is good news. Because if Chuck Norris was at the riot, he would have turned the Capitol into a lowercase. Chuck Norris doesn't need the Electoral College. He got an honorary degree. Chuck Norris doesn't overturn elections. He turns them just right. Okay, moving on. Sorry. Enough of the Chuck Norris jokes. Ladies and gentlemen, it's 2021. It's a new year. 2020 is over. Brand new year, brand new start, and I got a feeling it's going to be a good one.
Tonight, the push to impeach President Trump, a historic second time gaining momentum. House Democrats introducing one article of impeachment against the president for inciting the deadly insurrection at the Capitol. The manhunt for the rioters, at least 90 arrests, and just in, 2 Capitol police officers suspended for their actions. The much-feared post-holiday COVID surge is here. More than half the states reporting a rise as the U.S. surpasses 375,000 deaths.
That's right, another impeachment trial, more rioting and looting. The pandemic as bad as it's ever been. It's like all of 2020 was compressed into the course of a week. And by the way, I checked, Kobe Bryant, still dead. Now, of course, the big news of the week is still the fallout from the riots that happened at the Capitol last week. Now, I don't know what President Trump's New Year's resolution was, but if it was to not incite an insurrection, he failed on day 6. That has to be a new record. It's been about a week now since a group of the president's supporters stormed the Capitol to try and stop the counting of electoral votes, and the House has already introduced articles of impeachment. Let me just get out my impeachment rewards card. Hey, let's get that clipped right there. Boom. 3 more impeachments and I get a free sub. And I take mine on white bread. Now, things are moving incredibly fast, which is actually really bad news for this guy. Oh my god, come on already! I know how we can make sure he doesn't do anything stupid in the next week, but just put a bunch of ramps in the White House. Now, by now, I'm sure you've all seen Trump's speech before the riot. His words in that speech could be interpreted different ways by different people, and Trump has a way of speaking that sometimes makes it hard to figure out exactly what he's trying to say. As National Security Attorney Bradley Moss put it to Law and Crime, in this situation, the president's inability to formulate a sentence properly may be what saves him. It might not be the best time to be a grammar Nazi when you're dealing with actual Nazis. Actually, it's Heil to Hitler, so, yeah. But Trump's actions speak louder than his words. Well, not literally louder.
We're going to walk down to the Capitol.
Jesus. Why did he turn into Jerry Lewis for a second? The Capitol! Capitol! So instead of focusing on what he said, I want to focus instead on what Trump was doing during the riot. So what was he doing? Well, he's gotten a lot of flack for not calling to see how Mike Pence was, but he couldn't call Mike Pence because he was calling Tommy Tuberville. Well, actually, he called Senator Mike Lee, thinking it was Tommy Tuberville. In fact, Rudy Giuliani made the same mistake, and here is the voice message he actually left.
Senator Tuberville, or I should say Coach Tuberville, this is Rudy Giuliani, president's lawyer. I'm calling you because I want to discuss with you how they're trying to rush this hearing and how we need you, our Republican friends, to try to just slow it down. So if you could object to every state, and along with a congressman, get a hearing for every state, I know we would delay you a lot. So this phone number I'm available on all night, and it would be an honor to talk to you. Thank you.
How stupid are you people? I mean, they didn't even have to record you this time. You literally left a voice recording. Okay, that doesn't look great. It's not a good look, but it doesn't tell us much about how the president felt about the fact that his supporters were rioting. For that, here's Ben Sass.
I don't have any idea what was in his heart about what he wanted to happen once they were in the Capitol, but he wanted there to be chaos, and I'm sure you've also had conversations with other senior White House officials, as I have.
I have.
As this was unfolding on television, Donald Trump was walking around the White House confused about why other people on his team weren't as excited as he was, as you had rioters pushing against Capitol Police trying to get into the building. As it was happening, he was delighted.
Damn. That's from Ben Sass, a Republican. Now, in addition to that, according to the Times, Trump rebuffed calls to send in the National Guard. What do you mean you rebuffed them? We're dealing with people's lives here, not your face. At 2:24, get that face away from me. At 2:24, nearly an hour after the riot started, and 2 minutes after Pence was whisked off to safety, the president tweeted, "Mike Pence didn't have the courage to do what should have been done to protect our country and our Constitution, giving states a chance to certify a corrected set of facts, not the fraudulent or inaccurate ones which they were asked to previously certify. USA demands the truth." Then, shortly after 2:30, as rioters were smashing the glass of the Capitol windows, staffers finally convinced Trump to send another tweet, which read, "Please support our Capitol Police Force and law enforcement. They are truly on the side of our country. Stay peaceful." But of course that was insufficient, and the president had not wanted to include the final instruction to stay peaceful, according to someone familiar with the discussions. Now, as lawmakers were under siege, they were also trying to reach the president. But according to the Washington Post, as senators and House members trapped inside the U.S. Capitol on Wednesday begged for immediate help during the siege, they struggled to get through to the president, who, safely ensconced in the West Wing, was too busy watching fiery TV images of the crisis unfolding around them to act or even bother to hear their pleas. One advisor said he was hard to reach, and you know why? Because it was live TV. If it's TiVo, he just hits pause and takes the calls. If it's live TV, he watches it. And he was just watching it all unfold. What the hell is wrong with you? Why are you still using TiVo? You're the president of the United States, for God's sakes. What, do you have stock in the company? I mean, seriously, I didn't know TiVo even was a thing anymore. Now, a little bit later, Trump was forced to tweet this video.
I know your pain. I know you're hurt. We had an election that was stolen from us. It was a landslide election, and everyone knows it, especially the other side. But you have to go home now. We have to have peace. We have to have law and order. We have to respect our great people in law and order. We don't want anybody hurt. It's a very tough period of time. There's never been a time like this where such a thing happened, where they could take it away from all of us. From me, from you, from our country. This was a fraudulent election, but we can't play into the hands of these people. We have to have peace. So go home. We love you. You're very special.
Who's my special boy? You're my special... Who's my special little shaman? Who's my special shaman? Who's my special little Confederate? Oh, look at my... Who's mommy's little Confederate? Are you mommy's little racist? Here's a hint. If you're trying to quell a riot, maybe don't bring up the reason they're rioting. You didn't see people during the Rodney King riots going, "The police brutalized Rodney King. In fact, they're kicking the shit out of him right now, but please, go home. You're very special." Then a day later, Trump released a video where he finally condemned the rioters and acknowledged that there would be a new administration coming in on January 20th. But notably, he did not accept responsibility or apologize for what happened, and he still has not acknowledged that he lost the election. It was wholly insufficient, the equivalent of saying, "I'm sorry that you're angry." Still, according to a senior White House official, the president said that he wished he hadn't done it because he feared that his calming words made him look weak. No, this makes you look weak, okay? Me photoshopping your head onto a child's body makes you look weak. This picture of you at a tiny desk, that makes you look weak. This video, which I'm going to show again, of you walking down the ramp very slowly, makes you look weak. The only reason your condemnation video looked weak was because you looked like you were doing it with a gun pointed at your head. So it seems pretty clear, based on the president's actions during and after the riot, that this is exactly what he wanted to happen, and that his only regret is that it didn't work. He's clearly unfit to serve. I mean, he's unfit to be on Twitter. A man who can't be trusted with a Twitter account should not have the nuclear codes. I know impeachment is not going to remove him from office early, but it's about more than that, okay? The American people deserve answers, and this demands nothing less than a full and thorough investigation. I'd personally like to hear from his aides on the record to find out exactly what the president knew and when he knew it, and if the president is guilty, he should be convicted and barred from ever holding public office again. This is the first time in our nation's history that we haven't had a peaceful transfer of power. Think about that. If we're not careful, our elections could start looking a lot less like this and a lot more like this.
You want to do it the easy way or the hard way? Good. The hard way, huh?
Definitely the hard way. That's all the time I got for you tonight. I'm Tommy Meyer, and I will see you next week. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know what you think of my videos by commenting down below. And if you like what you see, make sure you subscribe to me on the YouTube or share this with a friend. The possibilities are 3. Good night.